Hello, welcome back to Mrs. Hewitt's Spelling at Home. So today we have another root word for you, and then we can add some prefixes and suffixes to that root word to build lots and lots of new words that all relate to the same thing. That's how word study works. So we pick one root and then we look at lots of words that we can build from that root. So today's root word is this. It is image. Okay, and this is from the Old French image, which meant a likeness or a figure, and it's originally from the Latin imaginem, which was to copy or imitation or a picture. Okay, so it's all relating to those sorts of figures, pictures, images in your brain. Okay, now you'll see when I hold the morpheme frame up that I've put brackets around the E. Okay, so I've put brackets around these this E here, and that's because actually the original Latin root didn't have the E, but we use the word image, and that is a free morpheme because it can be a word by itself. And when we add the S, we do have that E there for images. Okay, so your job now, I'm going to hold this up and you can pause the video, is to build as many words as you can. There are lots of spelling rules around the E's and the addition of your suffixes. So you will need to think about when you're putting those morphemes together, which E's you need to drop when you build that word at the end. But we'll look at that when we look at the word sums after we've done the grid. So it's time now to pause your video and build your words. Okay, let's see how you got on. I'm going to talk through some of the rules with you as we go down these, okay? So like I said at the start, we just have the image plus the S, and that's your plural S, okay? So for more than one image, you have your plural S, which is images. Now you can see here, imaging, okay? We do need to take that E off because we're adding a suffix that begins with a vowel. So for imaging and imagine, okay, again, we've got that suffix there. So we're changing that into a verb with the ine. That E is dropped and we just have the ine at the end. The word imagination, which is a word that hopefully you do use quite a lot in your writing, or at least when you're talking, we talk about using your imagination. Okay, we've got the image, drop that E. We've got the in for imagine, drop that E. And then we've got the ation at the end, okay, for the imagination to make the noun. So you can see there we're dropping those E's because we're adding a suffix that starts with a vowel. Same again for this one. This is probably almost the longest word we could get. Unimaginable. It's unimaginable. You couldn't imagine it. Okay, so it's almost so strange you couldn't even imagine it. But again, looking at dropping those E's when we add those suffixes on. Okay, that is a spelling rule you need to take into all the other words that you build in other with other root words as well. And again, imaginary. We know that imaginary comes from the root image, comes from the word imagine. It's imaginary. So if we can write image, we can write imagine, and we can write imaginary because we know it's adding that airy suffix at the end to make it an adjective. But we're dropping those E's as we go through. So lots and lots of dropping those E's. You can see lots of orange on that page because we had lots of spelling rules that we had to make sure we could do. So again, let's go back to some of our meanings of some of our prefixes and suffixes. Obviously means not. So if we have something that's unimaginable, it's not imaginable. We had our verb endings here, so the plural S, or it could be third person. We've got the ing for the continuous, and then the imagery, which makes that other noun. You talk about imagery in a poem or something. Imagine makes the verb imagine, and then all these relate to that verb imagine. So imagines, third person. We've got imagined, imagining. Okay, all those verb tenses using that suffix. And then we've got the able and ably to make the adverb, and unimaginatively. That's probably the longest word you can get. Okay, but again with the ly makes an adverb. So again, by building and knowing those meanings of the suffixes, you can work out the meanings of the words. And that's why this approach is really useful, because it means if you come across a word you've never seen before, if you know the meanings of those morphemes and of those prefixes and suffixes, you can work out what the word means. Even if you've never heard the word unimaginatively before, you could probably figure it out by knowing what un means, knowing that ly is an adverb, and knowing what imagine means in the middle. You could probably figure it out. Okay, so your job now is to pick some of those words you've made and to write a couple of sentences, making sure you get those spelling rules correct. So drop those E's where you don't need them, okay? Because that's the important bit in this, is about getting those spelling rules right. And good luck with those sentences then, and I will see you again tomorrow for another root word. Bye!